I'm cooking everything in my grandmother's recipe box, and today I'm making beef stroganoff.
This is her beef stroganoff recipe card. It's a pretty simple recipe compared to some beef stroganoff, so let's see how it goes. First, you're going to start off by slicing up one medium onion. It should give you about 1 cup of sliced onions, and then you're going to slice up some mushrooms to get about 1 cup of sliced mushrooms. Then you're going to put in a 1/4 cup of butter and saute those onions until they turn golden brown. A quick tip, if you want to, halfway through, throw a bit of water in and deglaze the pan. It'll help them brown a bit quicker. You're going to remove the onions and you're going to brown your mushrooms. You can see the fond on the bottom. I'm using the moisture from the mushrooms to scrape that off a bit. And then after the mushrooms are cooked, you're going to remove those and you're going to sear your meat. I only seared on one side. It's a little trick. You can get a harder sear on one side and then you develop just as much flavor and browning as you would if you tried to do both sides. It usually works out a bit better. Now I'm adding a tablespoon of flour to the meat, mixing that together. And then I'm adding 1/2 cup of chicken stock. The recipe called for water, but I had chicken stock, so I figured why not use it, give it a bit more flavor. Now you're adding back in your mushrooms and your onions and mixing that together, and then you're going to let that simmer over low heat for an hour just to soften up the meat and make it nice and tender. This is what it looks like after an hour, really more darker. Now you're going to add 1/2 cup of sour cream and mix that together. And then you are completely done your beef stroganoff.
All right, let's give it a try. It's good and it's super easy. Is it the best beef stroganoff recipe I've ever made? No. I personally like recipes that have a bit of tomato paste in them. It just adds a bit more robustness. The order of the instructions were weird to me. I would have seared the meat first, then use the onions and the mushrooms to soak up and get rid of the fond on the bottom. I think that would have been a bit better order, but overall it's really good and it's really simple, but it's not the best beef stroganoff I've ever had.